A lot of therapists, coaches, writers for men avoid using the term toxic masculinity. One influencer that I respect recently said they don't use the term because masculinity isn't toxic. But that isn't how adjectives work. Does trans men mean that all men are trans? No. Does blue cars mean that all cars are blue? Of course not. Does racist culture mean that all culture is racist? No. Toxic is an adjective, and it modifies masculinity in the phrase toxic masculinity. There are also a lot of good phrases to describe different aspects of the problems that men have and the constraints that our culture puts on us. Mark Greene likes using the term man box. It's a good phrase to describe the constraints of toxic masculinity. But it doesn't describe the consequences of being forced to stay in the man box. Gender role strain paradigm is the academic term for the man box. Some people will refer to traditional masculinity, which is more like a history reference, or hyper-masculinity, which is more comparative. But none of those terms describe how the constraints our culture put on masculinity are affecting us or the people around us. Toxic masculinity describes why the man box is a problem. It affects our health. And if we look at men's suicide rates, it is literally killing us. If you look at the rates that men perpetuate violence and commit assault, you can see that a lot of what's hurting us is also hurting our communities. So I think that it's important that we use an urgent word to describe how dangerous this kind of masculinity is and why we need to pay attention to it. I seriously debated deleting the phrase from my work entirely because I know that a lot of men will not read what I've written if that term is there. They find the term uncomfortable. And then I remembered that learning and change are very uncomfortable.